So, it's my first video out here in 2025. Can't believe how fast the years that go by, 2024 was a pretty interesting year, a lot of ups and downs, and then here we are to a new start of a new year, and a lot of crazy things has happened, but at the end of the day, we gotta do what we gotta do for ourselves. So I'm out here in New York City, so it's gonna be a basic video. So it's a little bit chilly day. It's not really that cold for January, but the weather's cold, in the winter. So we're just gonna walk around here in New York, probably Midtown Manhattan. I wanna see what's going on in Bryant Park. I know Christmas season is over, but maybe they still got the Village over there. I haven't filmed the Village this year, only on live stream. So seeing what the vibes are and trying to see what are my plans for this year 2025. Hopefully it's a good year for me and a good year for you guys. So without further ado, join me. Crazy how things are back to normal. And now I can see the city a little bit more chill now. Like, I've been here, for 14 years. And during this Christmas season, this is like the busiest I've ever seen, especially in Midtown Manhattan, like the crowds of people. But today you don't see really much people, but let's see how the vibes change when I make it towards the Winter Village in Bryant Park. Here's a building, Lord and Taylor. It's shut down, but then it seems like they renovated. Now it's just sitting here, but I'm not sure they're gonna open it again. And then this is, of course, the busy Fifth Avenue, but it's not much now. But it's only like 3:20 o'clock, so maybe during rush hour, you'll see the busyness, the craziness going on. And then what I love about Fifth Avenue is how wide the street is. And the crazy thing is, you can see how they decorate the windows. The crazy thing is that when the tourists come, they mostly focus around Fifth Avenue when there's like tons and tons of neighborhoods in New York to explore. They walk over this way, then you got the bus stop. And then I think another good thing as locals who live around here is that now we're gonna have the city to ourselves. Because a lot of people don't come in New York during January and February because the weather be freezing. So it's a good time for you to be, capturing pictures or videos if you live around here. Oh, here we got the famous New York Public Library. And I walk by this library many times, but I never go in. But during my birthday, I had a chance to go in, and it's really nice in the inside because you could go inside, chill. It's really big. They have rooms, of course, you get your books. And then they have other rooms where you can have your laptop and work or read a book, and they got Wi-Fi. So yeah, if you ever have a chance, not just enjoy the architecture and the outside, but go in the inside too. Also, it's perfect when the weather's freezing. You could go in the inside. So, that's another thing about New York. They also got like a lot of museums. So if it's freezing, you can literally go inside the library or go to the Metropolitan Museum, any other museum around here. So, there's always something to do no matter what the weather is. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of architecture. This has like the old architecture. Then Bryant Park is literally in the back. And then if you cross here, we're surrounded by tall skyscrapers. And then not only is the library, but around here they got chairs where you could just sit down. It's much better when the summertime hits. You can sit here and enjoy it, and I'll show you. Get some of the view of Fifth Avenue, then the busy intersection of Fifth Avenue and 42nd Street right there. This will take us straight to Grand Central. And then no matter what part of New York you go, it's like the architecture, mixture of old and new architecture. It's just insanity, it's really cool. Over here is the busy 42nd Street, goes all the way to the other end near Port Authority, and then the other side goes to Tudor City. But now I'm gonna make it to Bryant Park to see what's going on. I don't know to what day they have the Winter Village on, but we'll still check it out, and the ice skating ring is right there. If I show it, I'll probably show it in the B-roll because they got music and I don't want to get copyrighted, but it's still really good vibes. So, it's going pretty well for the first video in 2025 to see. I'm not gonna lie, this also resembles like the architecture like this. It resembles part of Chicago, like going close to the Cloud Gate. It got similar architecture, I kind of miss it over there in Chicago. I went there like 2.5 years ago and it was great. Then over here you can enter to the Winter Village. And as I can see, it's still on. So they do a couple of villages around here. They do the one in Union Square, Columbus Circle, Herald Square, and then this is the main one. But I heard the ones they do like in Europe and Prague are actually better than the ones here in New York. And you can see what's going on. You got multiple ways where you can walk. So they sell, of course, hot chocolate, souvenirs and stuff. Then you see it with the trees over here. So not too busy today. In my opinion, no matter how popular this place is, I feel like the products and stuff that they sell here is a little bit overrated, like really expensive, But I mean, Vegas is touristy and this is where people comes, but if you want to buy stuff, I think there's plenty of other places in New York City to buy stuff than come over here. Here should be the famous tree, not the Rockefeller, but the one in Bryant Park. Because it's daytime, you can't really see it lit up. Well, a lot of people, they be lining up over here and they take pictures. And it's really cool because it's surrounded by the tall skyscrapers in Midtown Manhattan. So I just passed the ice skating area. I'll put it in the B-roll. Then it's kind of divided. This area that I'm walking over here is where they got the food section. So they got some pretty decent options over here that I'm going to show you guys in a bit. So it starts over here. They got like two sides, and they got the place where you can sit. The sucky part is if it's really freezing and you're eating out here in this cold weather, that's a no good. And right now it's not really that busy, but if you come like during the nighttime or during the holiday season, which is over, sometimes you're literally bumping people to people over here. And they got your area there where you can sit down. It's crazy. It seems like they're selling ice cream out here or Dubai chocolate, but it's actually a little cold for that. So, and you got the carousel if you want to bring over your kids. And here you got some more food area, like you got German, pizza over here. I think this over here is Brazilian. Petisco, brazuca, and then you got Indian joint right here. So like I say, it's not really busy now, because like I say, Christmas is over and it seems like a lot of tourists are heading back, to their home, to their countries, or any other parts of the United States that they came from. But yeah, as you can see, and every year is just pretty much the same thing. So I know a lot of people, when they come here, maybe it's a big deal. But for me, it's not. It's just same looks, same joint every single year. But we're in 2025, so let's see if we can make this year different from last year. And ahead of me, I'm gonna show you the famous fountain. Like 2 weeks ago, I went by, I did a little short video for TikTok and Instagram, and it was frozen because the weather was like brutally cold that day. But now it's not frozen, but it's still nice to look at, so I'll show you guys ahead. And here it is. And not too many people taking pictures like usually you'll get. And then the ice skating ring is over that way. But yeah, here it is. I gotta say, I really like when the fountain gets frozen, but it's still nice to look at, It's surrounded by all the skyscrapers of New York. And this other side over here is 6th Avenue, also called Avenue of Americas. I can actually see Port Authority all the way over there in 8th Avenue. Then, it's just surrounded by massive skyscrapers. If you make it towards the left, it's Times Square, which I don't like it. I think it's really overrated, but people come here for that. I think I'm just gonna head towards the end, towards Tudor City, and walk around the surrounding areas. There are some areas that are pretty nice,
Where are you going?
Pretty nice, clean area, and the architecture over there is different. Even though it's part of Midtown Manhattan, like the vibes would be changing there compared to this side. We got more going on. You can see the trees literally without the leaves, because it's winter. That's normal. It seems like it's a little bit more busier over this side. Like I said, I think the stores are literally like overrated, just expensive, and the products are like, I don't know, pretty standard. Like I feel like you could go get something cheaper in another neighborhood in New York. Now I feel like the weather's starting to drop down. One thing about New York City is that during the daytime, it could be pretty comfortable, but then when the evening comes, the weather changes. It could change even 10 degrees below than, what it was during the daytime. So sometimes you got to keep an eye on the weather and dress accordingly, to the temperature. And this is 42nd Avenue, like heading towards where Grand Central is. And then you can see ahead of me is the Chrysler Building. And then this building took over the Summit Vanderbilt. And there was a lot of controversy because they wanted to build this building, but then there was like opposition because it would be blocking the Chrysler Building, which I kind of agree because the Chrysler Building is pretty historic. And at some point, like years ago, I think in the 1930s, of course I wasn't born, it was the tallest building in the whole world, the Chrysler Building. And in my opinion, I like better the Chrysler Building than the Empire State Building. Like the architecture is much nicer, and then surrounded right next to the Grand Central, I feel like it gives like a really nice vibe. You can start seeing the nice vibes. And then of course the Summit is here, and they developed like even a plaza right here. Got the Chrysler Building and another super massive skyscraper that they're developing is right there, which is a new Chase headquarters. Doesn't look that big, but it is a super tall skyscraper. And I think a little bit more ahead, they're gonna pop up another gigantic skyscraper. So it's like the developments never stop. Even though we're full of concrete, they keep on developing more and more high-rise buildings out here. Another thing I feel like this year, they went pretty basic in terms of Christmas decoration, like nothing crazy. Like the Grand Central, they just developed like a little circle in the middle. So if you can see in the entrance, it's that little thing. And then over here, they got the lights. Like this new plaza that divides Grand Central with the Summit Vanderbilt. It's a super, super tall skyscraper. But the plaza looks nice though. Thought on my way to Tudor City, I could warm myself up a little bit and do a little touristy thing. Checking out the Grand Central, I think this is probably my favorite train station in New York City. And the Oculus too, but this is actually my favorite one. The architecture is just top notch. And like always, it's busy over here. Today, it doesn't seem that much, but sometimes it gets crowded. And in this station, you could take, the Metro North to Connecticut, parts of upstate New York, like Westchester County, also Hudson County too, and then this is it right here. Just can't get enough of this beautiful architecture. This train station also is like heaven for time lapse.
Investing.
Like a lot of people, when they cover this train station, they always be making like time lapses over here. You see what I'm talking about, how busy it is, and the people in the background behind me, like crowded. And this train station is big, it also has a couple of hallways you can connect. And they also built a Grand Central Station Madison, which is literally like 15, 17 stories underground, and it has the longest escalator in New York City. So over here, a lot of people, they don't cover it. This is actually one of my favorite areas in the train station because of the ceiling. You can see the beautiful architecture, how it looks like. Like it kind of gives you a vibe like if you're in a European train station. And the lights and everything, it shines, and it goes pretty well. Right, look at the ceiling right here. Looks a little bit like a church. But yeah, pretty nice, right? Now time to hit back the streets in the cold weather and head towards Tudor City, where you're gonna see an impressive view of 42nd Street and Empire State Building. Then I'm gonna walk around the surrounding areas so you can see the architecture and some of the embassies happening around there. Back again at 42nd Street, and the farther I go from 7th Avenue, 5th Avenue, and the more I go towards 3rd and 2nd Avenue, the more peaceful it gets. Even though there's a lot of people because they work out here, you can see the traffic and the taxi drivers out here. Actually, it gets really, really nice at the end during Tudor City. And it's like another type of vibe right here in the Midtown Manhattan. Well, here at the end is the overpassage, where there's actually a street, and that's Tudor City. And if you go on top over there, you'll capture the whole 42nd Street. There's also an area, especially when they have Manhattan Henge. It's super crowded over here with all the photographers trying to capture that. I'll show you guys in a bit the epic views that we get up here. Here I am climbing the stairs. And then we are in Tudor City, and we even got like a little local park over here. You can start seeing how the architecture will be changing. Let me show you here ahead of me. And that's the famous bridge and passage over here then. 42nd Street, but the views are gonna get better once I make it towards the bridge. The cool thing about this is I have it all to myself. Like there's nobody, let me show you. See, there's literally nobody here standing to capture the view, to capture the moment. But then you walk, and this is what you get. 42nd Street with the epic views of the Chrysler Building. Wow, it's awesome. You got it pretty epic. This is a good area to capture also an amazing sunset, But this is probably like the most famous street to capture Manhattan Henge in the summertime when we get those past 8 o'clock sunset. Like if you come here, you'll see this all jam-packed, with photographers. Getting a little selfie out here with the bridge. Then on the other side, you get another type of view too. which is the East River and Long Island City, Queens, and then this is United Nations right here. Another type of vibe, as you can see. But then you can see the vibe changes, like, you know, you got the craziness of Midtown Manhattan, but then on top over here, you're gonna see how quiet the streets are and how super residential are, especially with amazing architecture. See the local park. Then they got the high-rise building, but I feel like 2 more blocks, it's actually pretty worth to walk, so I'm gonna show you. Tudor City is kind of like a mini, tiny district and a hidden gem right here in the heart of Midtown Manhattan. You can see like I'm surrounded by beautiful types of architecture right here. And over here you got, you know, dead end road. And Grand Center's over that way. But then I'll show you what's going on over here. You got this alley over here where you can see East River in Queens, New York. It's actually a better view of United Nations. And then I think this is First Avenue, and it has a pretty nice bike lane. And the FDR highway is right there. So it's like the borderline of Greenpoint, Brooklyn, with Long Island City. They just developed all this high-rise buildings. So, and then at the end you can see the Pepsi Cola sign. So what is my preposition or goal for 2025? I'm not really a crazy guy to ask for a lot, but I just want like a lot of health, you know, good health. I want peace for the whole world, you know. I want everybody to get along. I want the dreams to come true. I'll probably push forward to help with my goals. But I also want to focus a lot on this channel and grow this channel, you know, and keep bringing content for you guys. And, you know, that's all I want, you know, happiness, good health, a long life to live, and keep on making content, you know, having a great income to be around. That's all I ask for. So that was the end of my video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.